So we've moved over to the Isinglass, and this big pool right below the dam at the bottom of the path almost always holds fish in the fall. And Pat's actually, while I was rigging up, said that he saw one in here. I've gone back to my egg and my serendipity pattern, little tiny split shot above the egg, and the strike indicator. With my left hand, I'm slowly taking up that slack, but I'm not pulling that indicator back to me. I'm fishing water relatively close to me before I work my way out in the middle. And if I'm going to streamer fish, and there we go. Which fly, baby? The serendipity. I think he actually might have gone for the egg and then got fouled on the serendipity. No, it's in his mouth. It just got the leader got wrapped a little bit around him. All right, fella, let's see if we can get you out of here. Of course, as soon as Pat stops zooming in on the strike indicator, we're gonna get a good example of a take. You notice how I'm progressively making my way further across. Now that's in slower water, so I really got to throw that line upstream of it. I bumped that indicator a little bit more than I would have liked to, but you saw that right on the twitch, right on the twitch. So don't always be sold on the dead drift. Go ahead and give that little twitch, and then you can get really a reactive strike. Now, while I expected to catch a fish on the serendipity with that twitch, sometimes they hit the egg. Is there such a thing as a flying egg through the water? No, but you know, we'll take them nonetheless. Little bump. Not shortly after the bump, he hit it. Now let's see which fly. He's on the serendipity. He's either a little bit bigger or he's just got some backbone to him for being a smaller fish. I think he might be a little bit bigger. Maybe he has some color to him. I might try and show this guy to you guys a little bit better than the last release. Now don't tell, he did. He got wrapped around that stick. Oh, there he is. So Pat, kind of, if you think you can zoom in here, that's fine, but I'm hoping the serendipity is close enough, in his mouth enough, so that I can actually show you the size of that fly compared to the size of this fish. Give me a second here. Of course, he's gotten the egg. Well, I'm just going to leave that egg in there. Let's see if we can see the fly. Now, he might not. No, unfortunately, he kind of swallowed that fly. There it is. Sometimes they just sort of pop out of his mouth on its own. For a second there, I thought we were going to have to use forceps. But I'm keeping him in the net, down in the water. I'm just grabbing that serendipity. It came loose. But we're not going to worry about comparing the size of the fly to the fish. But I do want to try and get a decent shot on the fish. So that's a pretty, you know, Isinglass, November 11th fish. Let's let him go. All right, there you go, buddy. Thank you. Kind of sneaking up a little bit on this little corner of the water coming over these rocks here, and this run right here in front of me looks pretty good. Actually, the water coming over on the far side, and this looks good. I fished this a couple of weeks ago and did really well, and it was about at this level. And I'm not sure which flies I want to use. That big stonefly type nymph worked really well the other day, but I think I'm gonna stick with what we got on since we caught fish up above. But one thing I am doing, I'm sort of reading the water and It definitely shallows up right here. I'm looking at the water over there, and I definitely have to adjust the depth on this. Because remember before, we were fishing that really deep pool. So I got to move this strike indicator down a little bit. There's really not much room in here to give it that twitch, so to speak. I'm doing a little bit more of a high sticking in here. I mean, I suppose I could. Maybe if I throw all the way across. I'm actually going to try that water right up in front of me. Flies are getting a long time to sink. Now they're coming back into that main current. And that was just current pulling it under. That's not current. That is a nice rainbow right there in front of me. Nice fish. Pretty colors. Something tells me Pat might be coming back to the Isinglass. And he hit the egg. That egg just dead drifted through there. Come on, fella. He is not quite ready to come home yet. I'm going to try not to use the net, but still I want you guys to see. Pat, I really want to try and show them the colors on this one. We have a nice rainbow here. I'm going to take him off the egg in a second, but you got a good look at him, Pat? Great. I'm going to get that fly out of his mouth and we'll put him back in the water. But that is a beautiful fall rainbow. All right. Let's see. Where is that egg? Right there. There he goes. All I had to do was touch that fly and he fell right off. It's a great way of this fishing barbel. Maybe one more. Pat won't be able to see it necessarily, but way back in there. I think I'm just tempting fate with the hang up, but sometimes you got to tempt fate with the hang up to get a fish. Well, I could stand here for the next 20 minutes and say last cast, but I really want to thank Pat for all of his help in making this video. And hopefully in the process of doing so, you guys who are watching it, I've showed you some of what the New Hampshire Seacoast has to offer in the fall. And I will have clients out here all the way through Christmas Eve and even into January and February. Obviously most of the water gets snowed or iced over, but we'll take this fish and we'll call it a good day. That's all right. That was a great way to end the day, leaving one behind for everybody else to catch. So once again, Pat, thanks a lot for all your help. And you guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this. And please have fun out on the water. Be safe. And if I can be of any help, again, I'm Sean Smith and I'm with Stonefly Guides. And my website is stoneflyguides.com. And thanks a bunch for joining a morning of fishing in the Seacoast, New Hampshire with me.